Dana White gives an update on UFC 300. Dana says more fights will be announced on Tuesday.
When are you going to announce 300? We announced 300. I'll have more fights for you on Tuesday. I get home Sunday, and I'll have more fights for 300 on Tuesday. I get home Sunday. Tuesday is matchmaking, and I'll have some announcements. I might even try to announce some UFC 300 stuff in the next couple days here. We'll see how it goes.
Anthony Smith says that he's been in a very dark place since his TKO loss to Khalil Rountree. Anthony recently returned to the Believe You Me podcast and revealed that he's been living in a hole since the loss and hasn't been responding to any calls or text messages.
Anthony, didn't go your way, brother. There's a lot of people.
You drugged me out of my hole. I've been hiding under a bridge like a troll.
Have you really?
I haven't talked to anybody.
No podcast, no interviews. You just stayed at home.
Mike, I'm not even answering text messages. I haven't even spoken to my manager.
Oh, I know. You didn't answer mine, you prick.
It is nothing. For anybody that's listening, if you've texted me or reached out and I haven't responded, it's not you. It's me. I'm just in a weird place, and sometimes you just have to unplug, and I really threw myself into just being with my family and sometimes you have to sit back and I don't know, you got to reevaluate and just kind of see where you are, what do you want, where do you want to go, what do you want to do, because it was a pretty dark place there for a while.
Well, it's understandable because obviously you put a lot of time, effort, you put a lot into not only preparing for a fight, but as fighters, we make it our identity. It kind of defines who we are to a certain degree. I mean, of course, family, wife, children, that comes first. Outside of that, we're fighters, and that becomes who you are. And it almost like your success in life and how you are viewed at by these, I don't know, the fans that are very hot and cold, they're very fickle, what I mean? They're on the bandwagon, then they're off the bandwagon, and it affects you. And even though we're supposed to be these big, tough guys, of course it affects us, and you fail miserably. And the reality is that it's just a sporting event and people fail all the time. But you, me, the person in the octagon, or to use that quote, the man in the arena, they're the ones that feel it the most. And they're the ones that have to go and sit there and be left with their own emotions.
Chuck Liddell does not approve of Colby Covington's trash talk. Chuck says that if Colby talked about his family, he better have his hands up when he sees them. Chuck said some of the stuff they do nowadays, it's not okay. It crosses some lines, I think. But it is what it is. I guess that's the thing now. Talking about someone's father, talking about someone's kids. Like, hey man, I like Colby. But hey bro, you mouth off about my kids, you better have your hands up when I step to you. I think Jake Shields dealt with a guy. He said something to him. Here's the thing. Some fan says some BS about you, whatever. But if you're one of us, you're a fighter. You don't get a pass to trash me. You can talk about me, you can talk about my camp, you can talk about my coach, whatever. That's all fair game. But don't talk about my kids, don't talk about my family. Don't come after me that way, because you're one of us. If I come up and slap you, don't act surprised. Like, hey bro, you better expect it. Like, I'm not typically that guy. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I'm very protective of people I care about. Gilbert Burns makes fun of Conor McGregor for scoring a 1 on the punching machine.
So June it is, International Fight Week 185, so vai ser em junho, do final de semana internacional da luta, Conor contra Chandler, who you think is gonna win, but before, watch this video. Quem você acha que ganha, Conor ou Chandler? Mas antes, assiste esse vídeo aqui.
Sean O'Malley says if Ilia Topuria defeats Alexander Volkanovski, he wants to fight him next.
So January, February, and then March, UFC Sugar Show.
God, well, I guess if it's early on in February, maybe we could go watch Volk versus Alex.
That's the same person.
Oh yeah, Volk versus Ilia.
Me versus me.
I would like to be there. If Ilia wins, that's what I want next. Which, I feel bad. You got to hold up the division. You got Merab and Corey, and who else is there really waiting? I guess Merab and Corey, kind of, are the two guys that you could argue.
Smolka?
Who? Oh, no, Corey's good. Smolka.
smoke.
That fight never happened, maybe.
Chill, G.
Sean posted this to X last night. He wrote, Ilia's my Eddie, referencing when Conor McGregor moved up to lightweight and beat Eddie Alvarez. Ilia fired back saying, I offered to fight you, but the UFC told me that you are only good for fighting in teenagers' places, because that's your only fan base. Our fight will never happen. After fighting Volk, I will fight Conor, and you will come as a fanboy. After seeing your pay-per-view numbers, the only thing that I can offer you is that you fight on the preliminaries of my card. Darren Till claims he quote-unquote battered Sean Strickland in the gym. Darren posted this to his Instagram today. He wrote, throwback to when I battered Sean Strickland for 12 rounds in the boxing gym. What can I say? Always been a top striker. Hashtag the man dance. Tom Aspinall is not happy at the fact that he's the interim heavyweight champion and is probably not fighting for the undisputed belt next. As you guys know, Dana White is adamant that Jon Jones defend his belt against Stipe Miocic.
Maybe Tom deserves to fight John or deserves to fight Stipe, or maybe that's a better fight.
No. You do those two.
Right.
Those two both deserve that fight. That's the fight they want.
Tom Aspinall points out how long it's been since Stipe has fought. Tom says he's quite upset with the UFC. Tom started with this. He wrote, who's excited for the legacy heavyweight title? The first photo says crazy but true. The last time Stipe Miocic fought in the UFC, Alex Pereira had not made his UFC debut. And the video attached is John Fury.
You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, you political
Tom continued, last time Stipe fought and won, GTA San Andreas had just come out on PS2. He will fight for the undisputed heavyweight title, ahead of me, who's the interim champ, active and ranked #1 in the world right now. This makes me quite upset. Stipe is one of my favorites. Loads of respect to him. His resume is far superior to mine right now. That being said, the UFC has never been about this. It's about who's the best right now. And I believe that's me, and it's only right I get to prove it. Hashtag free Aspinall. He ended it off saying, surely if you're interim champ, your next fight should be to fight for undisputed. Come on. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Dricus du Plessis' response to Sean Strickland on Theo Von's podcast. The first one's from Jason Voorhees, Friday 13th. It says, in quotes, you don't talk about a man's wife or kids. Sean literally did that for 15 minutes on Theo's podcast. He's okay with trash talk so long as it isn't about him. The second one's from OC Smoke 8. It says, I don't even think DDP is like that. I honestly think he's only saying these things to manipulate Strickland and expose how he can't take it as he gives it. There are so many here who would be quick to laugh at Strickland's jokes, but go silent and defensive when DDP reciprocates the dark humor. And the final one's from Dex Bartmus. It says, Henry calling other fighters short and stocky is hilarious. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.